Hey everyone, Brian here with DIY Outdoor Life. For today's video, we have a really cool product to talk about. At least I think it's really cool. BougeRV has come out with this cargo carrying platform that universally fits roof racks. So a car, an SUV, or my tiny campers, this will fit any of those standard cross-arm roof rack systems, whether they're round, flat, they're square. They give you the hardware to be able to attach this to that vehicle. Now there's going to be a whole bunch of advantages for having this big platform, and we'll talk about that. But the real standout feature here is that it has this heavy duty slide out tray that's designed to deploy up to 200 watts of solar. So this is a situation where they give you your cake and allow you to eat it too, whatever the expression is. You're gonna have your rooftop cargo carrying capability, but you're gonna have a nice size amount of solar to be able to deploy from out underneath that. So it's almost already set up. You just have to slide it out and you're charging your camper, your power stations, or your overlanding vehicle. So there's a lot of cool stuff to talk about with us today. Let's get to it. Now I'm attaching links in my description and I want you to pay attention to those. There has been a bunch of different deals going on and that's why we're doing this video. Sometimes it's cheaper from BougeRV Direct and I have promo codes. Sometimes you get it from Amazon. The price goes back and forth and I'll do the work so you don't have to. In my video description, I will point you to the best price that I can find and I will continue to update this. Now, when you do make this purchase, they send you this roof rack in a box. There is some assembly required. Now, I would say the assembly here is pretty simple. Most people are used to it. It's kind of IKEA style. Put the 14 bolt in the J slot and there's a little diagram. It's pretty simple. They give you all the hardware and tools that you need to put it together. I threw all that stuff away and put it together with power tools. Even though it's a pretty simple setup, it can be a little time consuming. With the power tools, I got it done in less than an hour, but I could see this being a couple-hour project for some folks. So just know what you're getting yourself into. Now, when you have this assembled, what you're getting is this really convenient cargo rack system. And even though it goes together like IKEA furniture, this thing is very high quality. I took it off the roof of my vehicle so I didn't have to film this video on a ladder. But I've had this thing through all sorts of conditions and weather, and it's holding up really nicely. There's stainless steel hardware, the sliders are real heavy duty, this aluminum extrusion is really nice. So it's top of the line. I've seen a little bit of rust just on the tiny hardware that holds the extrusion together, and that doesn't bother me at all. The main hardware is all stainless, and there's one section where I cracked the paint a little bit, but that's probably because I used an impact gun on it. So very high quality. Now, what are we getting when we get this cargo platform? There's T-slot grooves all along the top and the sides. I'll put a link in my description to T-slot hardware. It'll slide back and forth, it drops in the middle, and most of them you just turn by hand to tighten them down. Some of them have a little wrench for them, but this allows you a customizable and modular setup to be able to carry all sorts of different gear on this thing. If you are new to roof rack systems, or if you have one for a little while, you're gonna realize that they're pretty limited. I can get a couple 2x4s up there at Home Depot, but even if I'm bringing skis, a bike, a kayak, all of that stuff has extra accessories. They're always way overpriced, but you usually forget about it because once you have them, they are very, very easy and convenient. You can still attach that stuff to this cargo rack, but what you're getting as something that's going to be on your vehicle all the time is a lot more options. With the T-slot groove, I can put my waterproof boxes up here, waterproof bags, a roto pack, a small cooler. I'll slide the hardware around and just sash things down or bungee them down, and this is going to be a huge advantage. All of us in the community of tiny campers and van conversions, overlanding vehicles, we realize that space becomes a premium. I've now spent a boatload of money on waterproof boxes and those pack out boxes, so I have a place to put everything from my campsite. I can close it up, it can stay outside, it can handle rain. I just kind of kick it underneath the camper when I'm out camping, and it's very convenient. But when it comes time to pack up, I throw as much as I can in my truck, and a lot of times I end up throwing things inside the camper to get to my next destination or even come home. This is going to be a huge improvement for me. I'm going to be able to put those, knockoff Pelican boxes and those pack out boxes up here and strap things down. I'll be able to carry cargo on the roof, but I'll still have the option to have some fixed solar that I can deploy at the campsite. And obviously that's what sets this thing apart from a lot of the other products on the market. With this large slide out tray, it's got a really good amount of space here and it's a good amount of throw. I'll put the specs up on the screen. I think it's about 3 feet by 4 feet. This is gonna be able to fit a lot of different types of solar panels that you might already have. You could put a single 100-watt panel on here, and when I put the specs on the screen, you can see if the panels you have will fit. But being that BougeRV is a major provider of high quality solar, obviously they dialed this in for some of their products. And their brand new top of the line 16BB N-type bifacial monocrystalline panel, those are priced really well. They're cheaper than what cheap panels cost 5 or 6 years ago, and they're top of the line in their quality. Those 200-watt panels are going to fit on here and fill up the entire space. Now, this gets my wheels turning. I know I have a lot of folks into DIY projects on the channel. Even without silicone or butyl tape, I'm looking at a large deployable glass surface that's going to come out over my camper or my vehicle. I know we could attach a shower room or even just a shower curtain or make something with tarps. There's going to be a lot of cool DIY projects, whether you want to make a shower room over your side box on the camper or make a changing room. If you guys do something like that with this, please let me know, because I'm really interested to see kind of the side effects of what this thing is going to be able to offer. But at its basic level, you're deploying up to 200 watts of solar, and I know that's going to be a perfect solution for a lot of folks. Now, I don't want to spend a ton of time on this because it really is its own topic and its own video. But if I don't address this, I don't want to accidentally misguide somebody. BougeRV has another product. It's brand new. It's a CIGS panel. The CIGS panels that we've featured on the channel a bunch that are usually super thin and flexible, they're putting them on an aluminum rail with a glass backing. They're giving you a rigid option for CIGS. Now this is going to confuse some folks because some of the advantages of those are that they're indestructible. You can just stick them on. They're super thin. Why would we put these on glass? Well, in my experience, CIGS panels are outperforming other solar panels by a substantial margin in really lousy conditions. When there's shade over top of them, or it's very low light early in the morning or overcast, I'm getting better numbers out of my CIGS panels than even some of those new shadow panels that are monocrystalline. I really like the performance of CIGS. So with their new SKU here, you can use them for rooftop panels, and they're perfect for a situation like this, where a thin flexible panel wouldn't work. Here's the downside. CIGS panels take up more space. So it seems like they custom made these panels. They're 75 watts. So they take up the entire tray, and I'm gonna go with 150 watts of solar versus 200. This is why I don't wanna misguide anyone. Most of you are gonna do better with just going with 200 watts of solar. But this unique option fits what I'm looking for perfectly. You see, with my setup, if the conditions are good and I'm in an open area and the sun is high in the sky, I never have to worry about solar. By 9 o'clock, I'm at 100%. The only time I struggle with my setups is when I park underneath trees or I'm in an area where there's just not much sun at all. That's where I have an issue. I'm taking the gamble that 150 watts of CIGS will do better in those situations than 200 watts of monocrystalline panels. So like I said, we could do a whole nother video on that, but I didn't want anyone to just follow along with me if they didn't understand why. In good conditions, these are not going to do as well as 200 watts of solar panels. But in bad conditions, I think 150 watts of CIGS is actually going to outperform those larger panels. That's my gamble. You make the best decision for you. So I really think this thing is awesome. I think it's really good deal if you get a sales price on it. All of these roof rack attachments are expensive, but at the full MSRP, I think it's $1,000. That's a little pricey. But like I said, if you look at those like Yakima boxes that go on cars, they're like 600 and some bucks. So nothing is cheap anymore. The way I wanted to finish this video off is with a little bit of a discussion as to what problem this solves for me. And I think that will help some folks out. You see, when you're starting off with solar, the first lesson you have to learn is it's all about your battery. Everything runs on your battery. It doesn't run off solar. Your solar is just a battery charger. So 9 out of 10 times when I'm helping somebody out and they're having problems, it's really a battery issue, not a solar issue. But once we get the right battery and the right size, we want to get enough solar to be able to charge that battery out in the conditions that we're camping in. Like I said, mine tend to be all over the place. If I'm under the trees, I'm really trying to design a setup for shade. And for some people, that's a gas-powered generator. But I hate how they smell and I hate how they sound. So I spend a lot of money on solar. Well, the next decision we want to make is whether we go with fixed solar or portable solar. Fixed solar bolts onto the camper or your car. It's like rooftop solar. Portable solar you deploy. You plug it into the side and it folds out like a briefcase. There's advantages to both. Fixed solar on your roof is working all the time. It works when I'm driving down the road. In the long run, it actually produces more than my portable solar. It's harder to steal, easier to set up. But portable solar always works better in the short run. I can point it right at the sun. I can adjust it halfway through the day, and that's going to make better results throughout the day. My advice that I give people when they're building systems is to invest in both. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket and you will have a much better system. What this does is it helps me thread the needle between those two different ways. Let me explain. If you watch my video when I added fixed solar to the Bushwhacker, I had a problem. I didn't want to fill the whole roof rack with solar panels because I use that to carry my canopy room, my clam set, a bunch of things. I want to use that roof rack. So I put one solar panel in the center, but I have a clamshell style roof vent that would hit the solar panel. So I did a video showing folks how to elevate that panel, and I even put a tilt mechanism on it. That tilt mechanism boosts my performance by 30%. It's just another inexpensive way to give you the best of both worlds. I get a little bit of portable solar performance out of fixed rooftop solar. So that's how I fixed the issue with the Bushwhacker. Now with my hiker trailer, I ran into a similar issue. I want to be able to use that roof rack system. I got awnings hanging off the sides of both of it, but that max air fan is even higher than the clamshell style of roof vent I have on the Bushwhacker. If I were to put a panel above that, it really would stand up really tall and it wouldn't have structural integrity. It starts to act like an airplane wing when I'm going down the road. So for my fixed solar, I went with the thin printable CIGS panel. It's just a different way of accomplishing the same thing. Completely different panel, but it's still fixed solar. That's the way that I satisfied the fixed solar aspects of those two campers. Now I have portable solar that I can use for both when I need it. That's why I look at a product like this and see that it actually solves a significant problem. I could still have my cargo carrying capability if I put this on top of one of those campers and I have some degree of fixed solar. It's not going to work as well when I'm driving down the road, but if I don't have cargo up here, those CIGS panels will produce some wattage to the battery. But when I get to camp, I can deploy 150 or 200 watts of solar and still have that cargo carrying capability. That solves a major problem for me, and I think it might help some folks. Now, stay tuned, because I've already decked out both of my campers. I don't need this on my camper. So I'm gonna put this on my Tacoma and make a little changing room off the side and make a station that charges my power stations when I'm driving down the road and has an extension cord to jack into the camper to boost my solar performance when I'm at camp. I could even reorient my vehicle to make sure that the panels are facing the south of the sky. So that's enough out of me today. I hope you found this video helpful. Please leave me comments if you do get one of these and you mod it out to make a little shower room. Use the links in my description, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you again soon.